Good morning, students. In earlier class, we discussed about the design consideration of the secondary distribution systems. So now, in this class, we are going to be discuss the AC distribution voltage drop calculations. So already in earlier lectures, we have calculated the voltage drop in DC distributors. Now this belongs to voltage drop calculations in AC distribution. So in general, AC distributor is slightly differ with the DC distributor. So let us see what is the difference. So all methods used for solution of DC distribution will apply equally for the AC distributors also. In AC distribution calculations, power factors of various load currents have to be considered, since currents in different sections of distributor will be vector sum of load currents and not the arithmetic sum, and also resistance have to be replaced by impedance. So there are a few differences between DC distributors as well as AC distributors here. The first difference, which is the power factor availability in AC distributors, whereas no power factor in DC distributor. Similarly, resistance is to be used for voltage drop calculation in DC distributor, whereas in AC distributor, resistance has to be replaced by impedance. Yes. So into these two major differences we are considering and calculate the voltage drops in AC distributor similar to that of the DC distributor. So to illustrate the procedure of calculating voltage drop in AC distributors, we will consider an AC distributor following two concentrated loads. So one is the power factor is specified with respect to receiving end voltage, and another one is power factor refers to the respective load point voltages. So these two important considerations are to be considered into account, and then proceed for the voltage drop calculation in AC distributors. So simply the difference between AC distributor voltage drop calculation and DC distributor voltage drop calculations are: point number one, power factors are considered in case of the AC distributors, and simultaneously the resistance has to be replaced by impedance in AC distributor. These two major differences compared to the DC distributors, and the rest of the process is similar for calculation of voltage drop. So to calculate the voltage drop in AC distributor, we will consider an AC distributor with the following two concentrated loads. One is the power factor is specified with respect to receiving end voltage. Another one is power factor refer to the respective load voltage. So case 1 is the power factor refer to the respective receiving end voltage, and then proceed how to calculate the voltage drop. So in this regards, the first one is power factors refer to the receiving end voltage. Yes. So you see here, this is the distributor fed at one end. So A is the feeding point, and C and B are the loading points. So the tapping current at the loading point C is I1 with a power factor of cos phi 1, and the tapping current at load point B is I2 with a power factor of cos phi 2. And the section impedance of AC is R1 plus JX1 and the section impedance of CB is R2 plus JX2. So for this distributor, how the voltage drop is to be calculated with respect to the receiving end voltage. So consider an AC distributor AB with concentrated loads. Concentrated loads in the sense this load current is different with the other load current. Yes. So consider an AC distributor AB with concentrated loads of I1 and I2 tapped off at points C and B as shown in figure. Clear? Okay. Now, taking the receiving end voltage VB, V suffix B as the reference vector, let lagging power factor set C and B be cos phi 1 and cos phi 2 with respect to the receiving end voltage VB. Let R1 X1 and R2 X2 be the resistances and reactances of sections AC and CB respectively of the distributor. Yes. So for this case, how the voltage drop has to be calculated. So you see the current in section CB is it is the I2 into, due to the consideration of the power factor, cos pi 2 minus j sin pi 2. And therefore voltage drop in section CB we denoted as a V2, which is equal to the current multiplied with the impedance. Current is I2 into cos pi 2 minus j sin pi 2 into R2 plus jx2. Similarly, the current in section AC is I, denoted as I, which is equal to I1 plus I2. And I1 is equal to I1 cos pi 1 minus j sin pi 1 plus I2 cos pi 1. I2 is the cos pi 2, it's not pi 1. It is the cos pi 2 minus j sin pi 2. So therefore, the combination of I1 plus I2 can be written as it is the total current I into cos pi 1 minus j sin pi 1. And the voltage drop in section AC is to be calculated. Voltage drop in section AC is V1, which is equal to the total current I into cos pi minus j sin pi into the impedance of the section R1 plus jx1. Therefore, voltage at point A, VA is equal to the receiving end voltage plus the drop in section AC plus the drop in section CB. That is equal to voltage at the sending end, that is the V suffix A at an angle of pi s, where pi s is the sending end phase angle. Sending end phase angle. So, with respect to receiving end voltage onwards, you have to calculate the sending end voltage. So, sending end voltage is equal to receiving end voltage plus the drop of the first section plus the drop of the second section. The phasor diagram of AC distributor as shown. See here, this is the phasor diagram of the why? Because here whatever you do, all the calculations are vector sum, not for arithmetic sum. So that is the reason every vector has its own magnitude and phase angle. Yes. So the phasor diagram of AC distributor as shown, the receiving end voltage VB is taken as a reference vector. So this the voltage at load point B is to be taken as a a reference vector, and for this case, power factors of the loads are referred to VB. Hence, I1 and I2 lags behind VB by an angle pi1 and pi2 respectively. You see that the total current, I1 lags by pi1 and I2 lags by pi2, and total current lags by pi s. Is phase angle between the Vs and Is. So, draw the drop of the section, that is the BCB, CB having R2 JX2 impedance. So therefore, the current is I2, which is I2 into R2 is the resistance drop, and I2 X2 is the impedance drop. Therefore, the receiving end voltage plus the drop of the section BC is the voltage, which is the voltage available at the load point C. And for this, we also adding the resistive drop for the first section, the current in section AC into R1. Similarly, the current in section AC, IAC into X1 is the impedance drop. So, the sending end voltage we need to calculate. It is the receiving end voltage plus drop in the second section plus drop in the first section. So, VA is equal to VB plus VC plus this drop. Yes. So, this phasor diagram is very clear. Receiving end voltage VB is taken as a reference vector, and the power factors are lagging. The magnitude of currents lags behind by an angle pi1 and pi2. Based upon this, the drop is to be indicated, and the sending end voltage is to be calculated. Yes. Similarly, another case is the power factors referred to the respective load voltages. So power factors refer to the respective load voltages. Just you have to consider this same circuit, and the same circuit, A is the feeding point, B is the receiving end, and C is the loading point with corresponding currents and power factors and impedances. So if the power factors are referred to respective load point voltages C and B are the load point voltages. The current I1 lags behind the voltage VC by an angle pi1. So whereas I2 lags behind voltage VB by an angle pi2. V1 and V2 are the voltage drops in the sections AC and CB respectively. So sending end voltage, current and power factor can be determined similar to the earlier case. So therefore, the voltage drop in section CB. You can observe the section CB. That is the voltage drop is to be indicated as V2, which is equal to I2 into cos pi2 minus j sin pi2 multiplied with R2 plus jx2. Here x2 missing, you can consider it is a x2. And voltage drop at point C. Voltage, it is not voltage drop, it is voltage at load point C. Voltage at load point C is equal to receiving end voltage VB plus voltage drop in section CB. This can be also written as VB plus, and the voltage available at load point VC at an angle of alpha. Yes. Now I1 is the loading current at point C. I1 is equal to I1 at an angle of pi1 with respect to voltage VC. So the load voltage, with respect to load voltage, is to be considered into account. The load voltage has at an angle of some alpha. So therefore consider the load current I1, which is equal to I1 at an angle of minus pi 1 plus alpha, pi 1 minus alpha. Yes, why? Because the loading point C have some phase angle with respect to the tapped current, resulting this can be written as I1 is equal to I1 at an angle of minus of pi 1 minus alpha. So therefore IAC is the total current entered into the distributor, which is equal to I1 plus I2. I1 can be considered by considering the angle of alpha. I1 into cos pi 1 minus alpha minus j sin pi 1 minus alpha plus I2 into cos pi 2 minus j sin pi 2. So therefore, voltage drop in section AC is equal to, it is denoted as a V1. V1 is equal to IAC into R1 plus JX1. Yes. So IAC is this one into the drop. And voltage at point A, which is equal to, the voltage at point A is the sending end, which is equal to VC plus V1. This is equal to EC plus V1. And the corresponding phasor diagram also is considered here, because all are vectors here. It is having magnitude as well as phase angle. It is vector sum, not arithmetic sum. Try to consider this point and proceed for the calculation. And same, whatever may be the earlier case, here also the same thing. Receiving end voltage VB is a reference vector, and the currents I1 and I2 are lagging with an angle of pi 1 and pi 2. So therefore the total current is IAC. And the section CB resistive and reactive drop adding. So the receiving end voltage plus the drop of the section CB will give the voltage available at load point C. And the voltage available at the load point C is added to the drop of the first section, that is the IAC into R1 plus IAC into X1 will give the voltage available at the sending end. So VA is the voltage available at the sending end, which is equal to VC plus V1. VC plus V1. VC is the EB plus V2, and VA is the voltage available at sending end is equal to VC plus V1. So this the phasor diagram belongs to the power factor referred to the respective load voltages. This alpha has to be considered into account and then calculate the magnitude of current. So in next class we will continue the problems belongs to the voltage drop calculations in AC distributor. With this we will stop this class. Thank you.